Hi, everyone, and welcome to a beautiful Saturday. We had a lot of rain this morning, but it's cleared up, it's sunny, and so I think it's time for a drive. But welcome, in the meantime, to another episode of Barbie Dolls of the Week. And speaking of driving, today we're going to talk about and show three different Barbie vehicles from the vintage, what I would call vintage time period. In other words, more than 25 years, at least for two of them. Actually, the third one, I don't know if that would be true. I have to look at the date again. So, starting out, we're going to look at the oldest one first. Now, this is from 1964. It says that on the bottom. And I didn't just take that date for granted like a lot of people do. And if you're watching this video and you wonder what I meant by that, here's what happens is a lot of people look at a Barbie doll, and we'll just take this one for example, and they find this who don't know about dolls or Barbie dolls in particular, and they look at the body and maybe it says 1966, and they're like, hot damn, I found a doll from 1966. I'll put it on eBay for $100 or something. Keep in mind that's the date of the body mold, not the doll. That was like the trademark date, I want to call it. Um, I'm not sure that's the right term, but anyway, it's the date of the body mold. That's all. It's not when the doll is from. It doesn't mean the doll was from 1966. So, keeping that in mind, when I saw this vehicle that I've had for some years, and I looked at the bottom and it said 1964, I didn't just assume it's automatically from 1964 for that very reason. So I looked it up, and indeed it is from the 60s, and I believe 64. And that's this vehicle, which is a Mercedes Benz. You can see on the front here the symbol. And it's kind of an interesting color. It's a turquoise, as you can see. It's had a repair on this side. And I didn't do that. It was probably like that when I got it. It's an interesting shaped vehicle. It reminds me of the 60s, and it's not in it's in pretty good condition, but not perfect condition. If you look at the front, for instance, you see that this silver paint, especially on this side, looks like it has a nipple or something off center. And this is the grill, and it's got some missing paint. So I don't know if I could find some paint to redo that. I'm not sure what kind of paint that would be. Maybe my friend Rafael Rivera would be able to tell me, so I might just ask him. And Rafael, if you're watching, let me know what you think. By the way, I believe this might be intended for Skipper, because I've seen that on some of the eBay listings. I didn't realize that. Now, I don't have a Skipper up here, so I decided to use two of my Charlie's Angels dolls to help model. So we've got the Farrah Fawcett doll here, and the Kelly doll, or Jacqueline Smith. This is Chris Monroe, of course. So Chris and Kelly, as far as their character names, they fit in here perfectly. So you can see them here. But yeah, the regular Barbie dolls were too big. I didn't realize that at first. But then when I looked it up, like I said, it says some of the listings said Skipper. Now this one that I'm looking at, for instance, rare 1960s Barbie and Friend green Mercedes-Benz car by Irwin, which Irwin is written, or not written, but on the bottom of this as well. So it's made by a company called Irwin. For Mattel, I guess, is how it worked. That one, by the way, is selling for $67.99. Buy it now, free shipping. But I've seen some that are less expensive. Like here's one that's more of a green with yellow seats. This has the red seats. And it says Vintage Irwin Mattel Barbie Skipper Green Mercedes Convertible Toy Car. $39.99. Buy it now. Which, let me see if there is shipping on that one. Yeah, $9.95 shipping. So it'd be about $50 altogether. And the only one I found the closest to this is actually, it's a it's a different blue. Still has the red seats, and it's on sale for $42.49. 1960s Barbie, Skipper, doll, Irwin, Mercedes-Benz convertible sports car. So anyway, I think this is a really cool little car. Two-door. Fits the Angels well, so I may just leave some of them in there. But, you know, the problem with these, and it's not a problem with these, but my problem is, again, space. I have nowhere to display these cars. They're in a closet, and I take them out from time to time, like for this video. I dusted them off and keep them. Now, obviously, you see the windshields, this plastic material does not stay in great shape. This one has a little crack. I don't. You can see it there. My other one is even worse. It's just got like not discolored, but it's weird looking. You'll see it. But anyway, this is the 1964 Mercedes-Benz. I want to say this about all three of these cars that I'm going to show you today. They represent to me what Barbie slash Mattel used to do with the quality. Very solid and detailed and such. Not quite what's out there today. Now, let's look at this one here. This is my let me double check the date here, 83, yep, 1983 Silver Vet, or Corvette. And here's the box. I have the box from this one. I think this is one that I bought myself when I worked at Sears those years ago, and I think that's why I still have the box, too. But this is a beautiful car. As you can see, I think that's Crystal Barbie in the driver's seat. And look how shiny and new that is, especially the windshield. And it's got that back piece of glass, or supposed glass. Of course, it's got the pink rims. And on the back, it shows, you know, all the different features. There's different, for instance, 2 seat belts that really work. Left and right rear view mirrors. Barbie license plate, Corvette license plate in the front, glove compartment that opens, hatchback window that opens and closes. So here is the actual vehicle, and I went ahead and put one of my Crystal Barbies in it, and actually her necklace is trying to fall off. There it is. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. So here she is. Now I will say this, it was very difficult to get her in this car. With that big dress she's got on, especially the bottom, there's a lot of material. It was, I mean, I had to stuff it all in there, and then I'll carefully take it back out. But boy, I didn't know it was going to be that hard. I would have put a different doll in there. But because Crystal Barbie's on the one in the picture in the box, I wanted to put her here too. So here's what the windshield looks like. And it's broken on one side, so it comes off a lot like that. But this side is fine. I don't know if anybody has any ideas what would get this off, this film or whatever. You can see that it's on both sides. I don't know if it would come off because it may be just sort of ingrained at this point. But boy, she's going to have a hard time seeing through that for driving. So sometimes people just take that off. I didn't want to take it off. Here's the rear view mirrors they're talking about on both sides. The steering wheel, of course. The instrument panel that's decal. The Barbie license plate, and you know, all these decals that you would put on when you bought it, and thankfully these have stayed on mostly over the years. This is coming off a little bit, but the wheels do kind of turn, you know, if you're moving this on the ground. And this is not powered in any way, it's just by hand. Her seatbelt is caught. There it goes. You know, they do have the seatbelts that go into these little slots in here. I didn't put this one in for her because she's not actually driving. And then, like I said, the glove compartment right here that I'm going to go ahead and shut. There it is. And it opened back up. So it doesn't like to stay shut, I see. Yeah, that's okay. So this is from 1983. I mean, 93, 2003, 2013, it was 30 years. And now it's about 34 years old. So it's in pretty good shape for a 34-year-old vehicle. And the hatchback does open, or whatever you want to call that. And it can store things in here like Barbie suitcases or her other accessories. And it comes off very easily too. But it comes off and goes on very easily. I'm not going to do it right now because I need both hands to do that. So that's the silver Corvette from 83. And then this last one I'm going to show you today. This is a heavy vehicle, by the way. And I went ahead and put the seatbelts on for these guys, but they're not on very tightly. This is also a Corvette. It's a pink Corvette. And I've got some models here. Malibu Ken is taking Great Shape Barbie to her workout. He's very protective of her, so he's driving. And this does have, by the way, movable uh, mirrors. I like that. And they go all the way in and all the way out. So it's very nice. It does have another Barbie plate on the back. And this antenna that you see here is because it's a remote car. It has a little steering wheel and an instrument panel, and I don't think that glove compartment does not open, by the way. This windshield, as you can see, is in a lot better shape. You can actually see through it and above it, which is nice. Kind of seems like it should be up a little higher to me, but maybe not. It has a rear view mirror, I just noticed, this one, that, can you see that? It does move, so that's nice. And the wheels are very sturdy, like very solid compared to some of the other ones. And of course, that's the fake lights and stuff. Now, here's the remote right here that you would use with it as stop and start. And I'm going to have to try it, but I don't remember if this works right now. Now, unfortunately, when they do these, they always do them to where you have to screw or unscrew it. By the way, this says Barbie, Corvette, and Doll, Canada 310, frequency 27 MHz. And it says 2001 Mattel Incorporated. So I assume it's from 2001, 2002. But yeah, it's really, I mean, I assume because it's the remote car, how heavy it is amazing for a toy car. These dolls fit in here very easily. There wasn't any problem. Like I said, I mean, the one with the silver Corvette, had she not had that big dress, I'm assuming she would have fit in there very easily as well. But yeah, this is a really nice one. Of course, I'm not a huge fan of such a bright pink for a car, but it fits, being a Barbie car. It's not surprising. And it's not horrible. It's just not my favorite. I like the silver better and some of the other ones I've seen. There's been a lot of really nice Barbie vehicles over the years. I also, by the way, have a sports camper from the 70s. I think that's what they called it. There goes the remote. But I wasn't able to get that out. There's too much stuff in front of it right now, and that thing is not in the best shape because the wheels are off on one end. But I really love that. I used to have one a long time ago, and I loved it. I used it with my Migos at the time, the Superman, Batman, and Robin, and all those. So, but yeah, as far as Barbie and Mattel vehicles, there's been so many good ones over the years. These are the only three that I have as far as cars. I think I had one other one at one time that I sold. I can't remember what it was like, but I guess I didn't like it or didn't want it anymore. I'm not planning on selling these because they're the only ones I have and I want to keep them. And one of these days, maybe I'll have somewhere I can actually display them. I mean, I'm not complaining. I have a lot of room to display dolls. Speaking of which, one quick update. I had told you guys I have 503, I think it was, counted box dolls. Well, I found another box with some dolls in it, so I'm going to have to add to that. And I have also, since then, I went through and counted every loose doll I have. And right now I'm at 429 dolls. So that's all the loose dolls. Now that counts the Charlie's Angels, 11.5-inch dolls, not these small ones in that car. And even some of the loose dolls that I have that are like 90210 or New Kids on the Block. So not all Barbie, but most of them are Barbie and friends. But yeah, I count right now 429 dolls. So with my 500, we're going to just say 505 for right now until I count that one box. Because I know there's some Jean dolls in that box that I plan to sell one day. But I think there's just a few Barbies. So I got to see. So I'm just assuming 3 for a minute. I saw 1 for sure. And then, like I said, the 429. So That's a lot of dolls to store, and that's why you see some right here that are just on my chair that we don't use anyway, so it's a doll chair. So with that, have a great weekend, everyone, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.